Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be reviewing the game which is between Geelong and West Coast. This one was at Adelaide Oval as part of Gather Round. I have been notably MIA, at least for most of the week just gone. I've been away a couple of back-to-back trips. So where was I? Just around Victoria, sort of the first trip, and then I went to Gather Round. So I got back, left around 4:30 p.m. on the Sunday, and then got back around 3 in the morning. So thankfully off work today, back into it tomorrow. Hence some delays and just getting life back on track for this week. Getting back into the swing of things, as I haven't been in my bed too much of late. Anyway, that's not my personal life. We've come here to talk about Geelong and how they went against the Eagles. It was a 47-point win in the end over West Coast. It's an interesting game to review, that's for sure. Definitely, when you look at it from a win-loss perspective, that's obviously satisfactory there. Expected to win and win well, and we did, so that was promising to see. And that, I suppose that first half, which you can see here, the second half of the first term, Eagles got off to a good start. You'd expect them to come out firing, I suppose. Bit nice we came out firing straight from the get-go, but it's an incredibly even comp, and we're even seeing all teams across the competition, get off to weird and wonderful starts. Teams down the lower end of the ladder, making life difficult, and I mean that's a sign of an even competition. But we are seeing that teams can go with the better sides, for a period of time, and then they might fluctuate throughout, as we saw in this game. We did, initially West Coast had that, that field position, getting that ground ball. Their pressure was good, and they were able to sort of, get some scoreboard pressure on. They kicked the first two, but after that, we turned on, which was great. So we ended off the first term with 5 goals, but we kicked 12 in a row to basically put the game, to bed, which was exhilarating. I mean, it's not very often back-to-back weeks, albeit some sides that are probably on the lower end of the spectrum in terms of the ladder, that you kick 10 goals in a third quarter and 9 goals in the second quarter in the game preceding that. So I mean it's great to see Geelong's footy at its absolute best. It is patchy from what we are seeing. I mean, as amazing as that second term was, we flexed the muscle from halfway through the first and the second. Didn't make for great watching in the second half, especially that final term. We tried to park the bus, but it didn't really work. It seemed like whichever side won the stoppage or won the clearance just got forward and kicked goals. So I think both defences would be better for the run moving forward. But it looked a bit leaky down back, especially against the side, with so many of their stars out and they're already near the bottom anyway. Probably not a great score to concede, and there's still lots of work to do. I think we can definitely acknowledge that. Whilst it was, probably about a par or just below par in terms of the win. I mean, we got out to 76 points. That's awesome. But you would have liked to. I think it deserved a 10-goal, 11-goal win just based on how we played. But when we did get on our terms, it looked like our football at its best, winning that that contested footy, the immense pressure from our our on balls especially. Forward line, very difficult to get out of the forward line when it was on top, and I think we got like 25 inside 50s and got 12 goals or 12 marks inside 50, something like that. So we were able to really, turn the gear to, fourth gear, which was awesome, even fifth gear, and able to pile on, a big score really quickly, and 9 goals. There was some star performers in that term, of course, and look, it's I think the main concern probably would be just the fluctuation in form in, I suppose, a quarter. And because we're not going to get away with this against a better side, that's what I do know for sure. Against, we've got Sydney next week. What I do know is we won't be able to we're not going to kick a 9-goal quarter against the Swans kind of thing. You might be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat against some of the lower sides, but you're going to have to play 4 quarters, and that's a challenge we're sort of still working through. It just seems to be points in time where the midfield just goes a little bit quieter and a little bit less on the work rate. When we were at our best, we're working super hard. Pressure was great, forcing turnovers in the front half. And then just most importantly, finishing our good work, 14-5. That's obviously really positive from a scoreboard perspective. And ended up being a pretty good score, 136. Could have been a 120-point win. But yeah, I'll take a win. That's for sure, and full well knowing that we can improve and keep going moving forward. So that's a rough summarisation of the game. And then we'll go into some of the numbers. So we got NFL a bit slow. It's been a big week, despite having some chilled out time throughout the week. But yeah, probably travelled about 2,000 Ks over the last 4 or 5 days. You can tell by my voice it's struggling at the best of times, but that's all right. Just powering on through. All right, so disposal-wise, plus 35 there, which was good. Same amount of handballs. Good supply inside 50. 63 was excellent, and kept West Coast under 50. Disposal efficiency was about the same, and efficiency inside 50, very much the same as well. Pretty much every time I went in there, the Eagles had a go at it. Free kick count was interesting. Definitely in that third quarter, it felt like any Murphy's Law with umpiring free kicks. They definitely, made a few interesting free kicks there. But anyway, double the hit-outs, which was nice. And, the clearance numbers, this is great. Plus 20, plus 9 in the setting clearances. So that's just getting it out of the middle. Stoppages sort of around the ground. Did well there. Contested ball was good. Plus 11. You always want to win this as best as you can. And good on the outside. Eagles were relatively similar again. More turnovers from us, more risks. Marks, it was interesting. We took nearly 100. Eagles about 70, but they definitely took the game on. And I mean, they should be proud of their second half, really. I mean, it could have been 120 points, and 47 points is a pretty good result for them at the end. Where are we at? What do we got? 24 marks inside 50 though. Definitely a great result. I think we probably averaged about 15, 16. Eagles got 13, so they got a fair bit going their way as well. Up forward, and had some good supply, but also not a lot of pressure when West Coast had the momentum. It seemed like the team that had momentum just didn't have the same amount of pressure, and it just roles reversed in the second half. We're in front for most of the game, good portion of it. Tackles were the same as well. Lots of even Stevens numbers here. 1% is big time. That's the big stuff. Moving on to the players and the votes. Votes are really tough, and especially when you're at the game, you see things differently. You notice different pieces of play and vision with players. In terms of the 3, there's lots of players at probably 2s and 1s. The 3 was really difficult. I did go with Dangerfield for the 3 votes. He kicked a couple of points, 23, 4 marks, 3 tackles, 6 clearances, almost 500 metres gained, 2 goal assists. Again, from 70% game time, they love resting Paddy quite a fair bit. I just felt like, his sending clearance work, his goal kicking wasn't great, as we saw, and he passed a few off, as you can see, the goal assists. His, breakout of stoppage, I think, was what was, I suppose, the catalyst in terms of being able to change the momentum of the game. And you felt like when he was off, and we see this a lot, when you really need a clearance or you really need to change the game around. I felt like Paddy did that, and when he broke out of stoppage, really good things happen, and they normally do. And it takes a special kind of player to be able to execute on that. And I felt like by a foot he was better. It was tough to give the 3 though. 2 votes. All of them are tough, really. I've gone for Tom Hawkins. Been a bit of a whipping boy of late, especially, just a little bit underdone. But he kicked 14 disposals, 6 marks, a few hit-outs in there, a couple of tackles, a couple of clearances, and some goal assists. yeah, just looking really strong once again, and loving the way he's going about it. Yeah, Scotty forecasted the future in terms of him being able to be better as the season went on, and hopefully he's right with the whole team as a collective. But I like Tom's role, and yeah, seeing him back in some good form is great. Then the one vote I've gone with Sava Radaglia. He probably got most of this in the first term, to be honest. But yeah, he's been putting his hand up for a vote for a bit. 14 touches, 9 marks, and I believe 7 at quarter time. He was a brick wall down back, 4 tackles as well. So yeah, he was dynamic, especially in the first term. Kicked across the ground, which probably not his go. Long down the line, Sav, and he'll be good as goal. But yeah, I liked his role, and especially early when, yeah, the Eagles potentially could have piled on a bit more of scoreboard pressure. Radically was able to intercept a lot, and that definitely was valuable and helpful. There's a lot of players that could have given a vote. But he's been putting his hand up for a few weeks. Then I'll move into the rest of the team. Blitzarves was good. Not usually at the top of the tree, but yeah, he got a few hits in there. A couple of goals, 17 touches, 4 marks, 4 tackles, 8 clearances. Some good work there in the stoppage. Getting 70% time on ground. We do really good with the midfield rotation there, ensuring that they're not too buggered. Stewart's game was good. He had 24, 7 marks, almost 500 metres gains. Always tries to bite off those kicks, which I love. Jez, probably the first time I've given him a vote this season, and you know, not impossible for him to get one, but his second term was absolutely electric. Almost kicked a 5th. The snap hit the post. But yeah, he kicked 4, 18 touches, and then 4 marks as well, goal assist. Yeah, he was pretty steady throughout the afternoon, did obviously most of his work in the second term, and he was sort of pretty quiet because we didn't really get quality ball in after half-time. I said before the game he's going to kick 8, and then he kicks 4 in the second term. I think, here we go. But it never ever happens somehow. Isaac Smith, he kicked a goal, 23, 6 marks, works really hard, a couple of goal assists in there as well. Yeah, his work on the outside's really valuable for us, and yeah, he's a really handy player for us, and really helps with that, you know, that drive of halfback in the wing, which definitely helps out a fair bit. Cam Guthrie was all right. He had the 22, 6 tackles, a few clearances in there. Still not quite at his best, and hopefully, I think he was a little bit underdone going into it, and maybe he has been a bit underdone since the start of the season. They're just playing him anyway. Hopefully, he can get back to some better form and yeah, pick up more of the footy. Henry was good, a little bit wayward, but he kicked 2 goals, 15 touches, 8 marks. He was really good in the air, played a fair chunk of the game, and hit the scoreboard in a really good way. So, yeah, Henry will be definitely hopefully better for the run on that kicking. I don't think he's a long kick, so might have hurt a few opportunities that he did have. There was a couple of shanks throughout the game from a few players. Brad Close, very unlucky not to get a vote. One of my favourite players, Brad Close. Also, Stewart, Cameron, and Duncan. Got a few favourite players, actually. Where are we? Brad Close. Yep. So he was awesome. Equal career high, I should say. 4 goals with 16 disposals, 4 marks in there, and gave off to himself. So he set up 6 goals. Great effort from Closey. Very stiff not to get a vote. It was basically him or Radically, and Radically had been knocking the door down. But yeah, a really good performance, and got going as the team started to switch into 3rd and 4th gear. Myers played a really good game. He had 17 touches, 8 marks, and what I love here is just being sneaky good with these goal assists. He's absolutely darting them inside 50 and hitting targets in a big way, and that's just been instrumental for helping us get some scoreboard pressure on. So his kicking's definitely improved big time, and awesome work. Zach Guthrie, 12 touches, 7 marks, 6 tackles, really good down back and solid as always, doing his role for the team. Holmes was good. He had 20 touches, kicked a goal as well, 6 clearances, a couple of goal assists. So yeah, he played quite a good game actually when you break down all the numbers again. They love that 70% mark for midfielders. So I'm going to have to suss out other teams and see what they do. Pretty sure that's much more going on there in terms of percentages. Stanley, unfortunately, injured. He had 10 touches, 4 tackles, 4 clearances, 29 hitouts. So, yeah, he was quite dominant in the ruck. He'll be out of action, unfortunately. But, yeah, he was okay in the ruck. Atkins, 15, 5 tackles, loves a tackle, 7 clearances, doing a lot of work inside there, and yeah, trying to get that ball to the outside, and did well. Tui was okay. He kicked a nice bunana, 14 disposals, a couple of clearances as well, a few marks, and also gave one away, which is good. Hopefully better for the run. Hasn't been at his absolute best, but all in good time. I think we'll see some better form from Tui as the rest of the team. Mitchie Duncan, second week back, a little bit rusty still. Again, he had the 14, 5 marks. And yeah, didn't play maybe a stack of game time. Didn't really get a lot of meters gained. Yeah, just not quite himself. But he's only 2 weeks back in. He's going to take time to dust those cobwebs off, and I've no doubt he'll be getting back to 25 and 10 marks each week. And yeah, being a great player for us. Cole Justin was good. He had 14 down back, and also took 4 marks. Also set up a goal. Nice work from Collar. Little scrimmage and turnover, kicking back in the middle with likewise radically. You like the aptitude going into the middle. Hopefully, just being able to nail those in future will definitely go a long way. But yeah, good solid performance. I think Darling and Allen all ended up with 4. Although I don't think the midfield really helped out Collar and Radically and DK down back too much. And that second half was a little bit easier the way I got down there, and they were just kind of sitting back a bit as well. O'Connor was pretty solid, had the 11 touches, 5 tackles, and played a fair chunk of game time. Jack Bowes kicked a nice goal, nice snap around the body from long range too, it was, and he had 14 as well, 4 clearances, and a couple of marks in there as well. So, yeah, again, he's building and he's playing his role nicely from half back. Hopefully, he can get a bit more of the ball, and he's that class for us as well. And he'll definitely improve. Parfitt, I don't know how he got 13 touches, 6 tackles, got a goal assist in there as well. Yeah, I've said this all before, and I'm sure I'm not alone here, but. And I see he's probably in the team for pure midfield depth, and you got to have 30 or so players that can play a really good role. But I don't see Parfitt in our best team. I don't see him in our best 23. He turns the ball over. He's slow. I don't really see too much weaponry, and when he's not winning the ball, and even when he does win the ball, it can sort of go a bit wayward. So. I would like to see whether it's Tanner Bruin in, just play him. I'm sure there's other guys that might be ahead of him at the moment. Nothing against him personally, just calling as I see it. Anyway, DK, and I believe he was a sub as well. DK was good down back. He was back to some of his better form. 12 touches, 5 marks. Doesn't get a lot of meterage, but he looked back to more of what we know. Stengel kicked a goal, 6 touches. Unfortunately injured as well, goal assist. Stengel and Stanley are out of action for a little bit, both having surgery, which is unfortunate. You would suspect that they'll go with Segler for the meantime in the ruck, and for Stengel, they might opt for an Ollie Dempsey or maybe even a Sam Simpson, depending on what role he plays. Unfortunate circumstances for those guys. We've got obviously a few injuries and a couple more to add to the injury list, but all teams are facing injuries at the moment. So that sums up, the game, stats, the players and how they went about it as well. And let's see if we can figure out the situation of finding the ladder. We've gone from, we were 18th 2 rounds ago. We've jumped up to 10th. 2 and 3, all of a sudden it looks a little bit better on the win-loss ratio. Percentage is good too, 119, a couple of nice wins. So that takes us to probably, just below 6th there. And right on the mark with the Crows, who have been quite impressive. And let's go to the fixture. I believe we have the Swans on Saturday night. GMHBA Stadium, going to be a massive game. The grand final rematch for 2022. I don't really know how to feel about this game. I know Sydney are going to want us absolutely dead after the big dance last year. they're 100% capable, even though it's at GMHBA, 100% capable of getting the win. Sydney have done it many times before. They're probably the team we go 50-50 with, really, over the last sort of 15 years. Even at our absolute best, that 50-50 at best. A couple of games the SCG of late. But we're able to get the job done at the the MCG very recently. I'm happy to pick us. It's going to be, line ball. I know what Sydney can do, and I'm pretty concerned about what they can do. And if we allow them too much leg rope like we have the last 5 weeks, then we could get trounced at home. But I'll back us in at GMHBA because we love playing games of footy there. Usually lose one game a year there. This could be the one. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can get back on track and take home the win. And without further ado, let's find the fixture. We'll get back to this game here. But gather round, huge success. Geelong successful, 47-point winners. Takes us to 2-3, getting slowly back on track. Obviously, a few wins against some lower ranked sides. We'll see how we go against Sydney. So, it was always going to be Gold Coast, Hawthorn, West Coast, although 2-1 out of those 3. We're not really going to know where we're actually at until we play some of the better sides in the competition, and that will be our litmus test. Definitely in Sydney, irrespective of us playing Sydney next week, which we are, they're the best auditors in the competition, in my opinion. We're very damaging, especially late against the Tigers. So I think we'll win, but geez, I'm not confident just yet. I still need to see a lot more defensive mechanisms in place and us to play our best footy for long periods of time. That's it for me, guys. Hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to give the video a like, subscribe away, all of that good stuff. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and I'll see you all on the next video.